This video is me breaking down what growth operating actually is and why the model most people are running, so the agencies, have a ceiling, and why is the best time to switch the model right now. So quick context why I'm even talking about this. I help B2B SaaS and AI founders. We're running their whole operation. So this goes from posting content on X, then building lead magnets. So we nurture that people and push them down the funnel into a community, which is usually on Telegram. And what happens, we nurture them in the community even more until they buy your product. And maybe you're doing something similar. You have some sort of clients on retainer and they are paying you monthly, which is pretty okay. You have good results, but you just have the feeling that your model currently has a ceiling that you just can't break through. And I think growth operating is one of those models that will change that for you, because why this is different is because it operates on a whole different level. By the end of this video, you will most likely figure out and recognize yourself in it, or what will happen is you will recognize that you are leaving so much money on the table that you should switch up the model. So I think most people can feel when they reach that ceiling, but they just can't name it. And if you can name the problem, you can fix it. It's just that simple. So first, most people are doing agency works, and as we know, this is not bad business model, and it goes something like this: that you find clients, maybe you charge them 2, 3, 5, maybe sometimes even $10,000 a month. And on paper this sounds very nice, because if we start doing the math, and if you manage to get 2, 3, maybe even you manage to get to 10 clients, that's over $30,000 a month. But what happens is that you usually will hit that ceiling that we just talked about. What's happening right here is that you're running actually very good business, but in reality you're still trading your time for money, and you're just able to charge more because of the agency and whole branding, and that's not the way it should be. With this agency model, what will happen is actually that you will have to do more deliverables, you will have to do more management, and it's all back and forth, and maybe you will even hire some, and that will go great. But over next month, maybe one client will just resign and you will stop getting the money, and it's all basically the whole big mess that nobody wants to deal with. But if you want to even try to take 1 week off, you can, because you are in the business, and this is just glorified job with a great salary, I guess. But I think nobody wants that actually. I think the freelancers has the same problem. I think it's even worse for them, because they will try to rise their prices as much as possible, but because they don't have the agency, they are still stuck at some limit. And basically with the agencies, just that you get that extra money because of your branding and whole agency thing, but there is just not another level you can reach, because you are just constantly working in your business and you can't clone yourself, and it's just a whole nother mess on a whole nother level. So I would always rather go with agency than a freelancer. But I think the growth operating has the complete different shift on this, and as you will see. And here's the thing, guys, both models have the same big problem, and it's that you are basically paid for your inputs. So inputs are your time, your management, and your deliverables. Why is this the problem? Because you're not paid on the outcome and on the results, because you can do X amount of work and they will get 10x the results, but you just get paid for that small amount of work that you do, but they got the amazing results. So this is why growth operating is completely different, as you will see. And the people you see to succeed long term in this industry are not the best at executing their deliverables, they just own the outcomes. And there's the model for that. We just covered that, and it's growth operating, and most people for some reason don't know about it, but it's freaking amazing. So let me actually define this, because this term gets thrown around all over, and most people have no clue what actually it means, or have like 5 different meanings for it. And let's just clarify this first. So there are 3 parts that you should do as growth operator. First is that you should generate attention. Second is that you should convert it, and third one is that you retain it. Basically, that's very simple. You are not delivering here one special thing, one special service, but you're basically a whole partner and improving the company results and helping them grow. So the models we just covered, so the agency and the freelancing models, are basically known for charging retainers on a monthly basis. And how does the growth operating differentiate from these models is basically that you get paid with the revenue share, the performance fees, sometimes is even equity in the business. And the whole point is that you win when your clients win, so it's win-win for both of you or lose-lose for both of you. And I think this also has a big factor in the relationship and how you operate in the business, because it's not just get my monthly salary from this, it's basically let's do this as best as possible so you can get the most money out of it and I can make most money out of it, and it's that simple. Okay, so I know most people can push on this and say, okay, but I just can't do the whole operation, I'm just one person, or maybe I have a small team and this is quite a lot of work to do. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot of work. But the good news is that everything changed a few months ago or maybe a year ago when the AI became so advanced that you can just basically outsource many jobs and just run the systems, and it's basically very easy. It just takes long time to create all of the systems. So why did the AI change the math for this model? And it's not because it replaces the thinking, it doesn't, but strategy, positioning, knowing what actually moves the needle in a specific business and specific market, that's still on you, and it's not AI's job, it's just your helper. But the volume, that's where the game changes. Before AI, it used to be that you have a team of 4 or even more people that will help you with your content, copy, analysis, reporting, and basically testing and setting all the operations, which took a lot of time. But with the AI now, this is completely changed. If you run the right operations and you build the right system, AI can do it fully for you now, all automatically. And I'm just not saying that you should run ChatGPT and paste in some basic prompts. I'm talking actually about running and creating the whole system operations that businesses can use and replicate and basically use on day-to-day basis, that will help them with their growth, and they spend as little time as possible on these activities, and all of the complicated stuff gets handled by AI. So with this model, you shouldn't be getting tons of clients. The main goal is that you get 2 to 3 very good clients and you can scale them as much as possible, because they will make you much more money than 10 small clients ever would. And why does the growth operating actually work so well? It's because you fully own the system and you know exactly what works and what doesn't. Because if we look at the standard agency, you might have like tons of people working on one specific problem and they don't communicate with each other, and it's just a whole bunch of mess which nobody wants. Growth operating model done properly can run on a very high margins. We are talking 70 to 80% margins, and the only thing that you should have or pay someone is your sales team that you should outsource or found some partner that will do it with you, and that's basically it. And why nobody talks about this model is because it's not glorified like agency or freelancer. It's a little bit harder also, and recently I saw Iman Gaji start talking about it, so it's definitely getting some traction recently, but still I think it's very new model and not many people are in it. If you jump on a train right now, I think it's great time to start doing this and getting some skin in the game so you can get best at it. Okay, so for this part I just want to be straight with you and just explain everything that goes into this model, because I watch too many videos where people just yap about one model that actually doesn't work, and it's a bunch of nonsense and it's very complicated and most people are not able to do it. But this one is completely different. So the thing that will actually make difference for you with growth operating, I think for most people will be clients, because you should go for bigger and better clients, because bigger and better clients mean more money for you. As we explained earlier, if you have much more smaller clients, it will be much harder for you to grow and expand and help them actually execute your part. And the second part, which I think will change a lot for most people, is basically just the whole operation side and how you should work with within your business. I think the biggest problem for me all along was just managing all the things and producing good result constantly for all of these clients. And what changed for me is when I started creating systems for AI. So for instance, let's say content creation, I have a full system. You can check my other videos and you will see how it works and replicate it for yourself. But how I create content, basically it's mostly about the idea. So you input the idea into AI and the content part or the writing part will be handled by AI. If you give it clear instruction, it can replicate and be one of the best ghostwriters or copywriters you will ever hire. And that's all jokes aside, because you just need to be very specific and very thoughtful about the instructions and how the systems work. Because I think most people, when they start, they will do everything manually, from writing a post, generating ideas, and basically just doing the whole bunch of things manually, which I think is definitely not the way to go, because that's not the way to scale anything. Because if you want to actually be good at something, you need to do massive volumes of repetition and just putting out their content and see what sticks, and test a bunch of different angles and see which one actually works. And you can do that manually if you are not having a team or actually AI helping you with a bunch of angles. And if AI is writing content, for instance, for you, I think that's not a bad thing, because it still needs your ideas and the content will still be yours at the end. It just helps you with managing and producing the results much faster, which I think is a great thing, and much more people should capitalize on this opportunity that we have right now. And I'm not going to pretend this took like few days or maybe even few weeks. It actually took me a few months to build all this, but the great part now is that I can just quickly update what's new, and I still have the full system up and running, which is absolutely amazing. Also, what's very good about AI is that you stop guessing and you're actually constantly operating on data. And here's the actual thing I want you to take from this video, is that if you are doing any kind of growth work, so for instance content, ads, funnel, or whatever it is, and you're good at it and you have actual good results from it, but every month it feels like you're starting from over, I think you already guessed by now the model is the problem and you should switch it so you make much more money with it. So growth operating is basically that you start owning the outcomes and not deliverables. You build the whole system for founders and creators you're working with. You became actually partner with, which I think is great for business. If this helped you in any kind of way, from changing your beliefs or maybe even figuring out that you should and could make more money, please subscribe to my channel. I also have a free Telegram group, which link is down below, where I share weekly updates and my SOPs on how you can replicate the content and many other things. And every week I upload a video where I talk about these systems and how can you build it for yourself. So I think that might help you. And thank you guys for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.